The 10 tests of Avraham and Sarah. Do you know how many times Hashem tested Avraham? Altogether, Hashem gave Avraham 10 very hard tests. The hardest of all was the last one. What do you do if you want to test how strong you are? Well, you pick up a heavy weight, and if you can pick it up, does that prove how strong you are? Or might you be even more strong than that? Perhaps you could pick up 2 weights. How do you know how many you can pick up? Well, Hashem knows how strong you are because Hashem made you. But guess who does not know how strong you are until you have tried picking up even more weights? That's right, you. You will not know how strong you are till you see how much you can pick up. Avraham did not really know how strong was his love for Hashem till his love would be tested. And the reason for the test would be for him to see how strong he is in his ahava, his love for Hashem. Let us understand something. Hashem knows everything. So that means Hashem must know if Avraham is able to pass all the tests he will get. So why did Hashem need to test Avraham? Was the test for Hashem? Or was the test really for Avraham to know how strong he really is inside of himself? Do you know which was test number 1? There are actually 2 parts to his first test. The first part of test number 1 was living in the cave away from people for 13 years. When he finally returned home, Avraham spent hours and hours talking with his father Terah, trying to persuade him that the idols everyone worshipped could not possibly be real gods. But Terah, Avram's father, believed they really had powers. Avram did not believe it, and he was looking for the right time to prove it. And the right time finally came. Terah was the head priest of idol worshippers. He would advise people which idol they needed to buy and protect them. Terah had a large store filled with many shapes and sizes of idols, and this is what made him very rich. One day, Terah called his oldest son Avram to help him sell idols. Avram, my son, I want you to go to the market and sell idols. Now listen carefully, so you will know how much to charge. Look at how well the customer dresses. Listen to their problem for which they need the idol. If they are well dressed or have a serious problem like an illness, then charge more money. Avram nodded his head. He took the idols and set up a stall in the market. The first customer looked well dressed. I would like to buy an idol that fits my high position in life. Certainly, answered Avram. This is the largest we have. Avram pulled off the shelf the biggest looking idol and gave it to the man, who paid Avram a large amount of money. As the man turned to leave with his new idol in his arms, Avram called to him and politely asked, excuse me, sir, could I ask you your age? Well, I'm 60 years old. Well, why? Well, do you know the idol in your arms was carved out with a chisel just yesterday? Is it not the way for a younger person to bow to an older person? You are 60. This God is 1 day old. You can move your body to the right or left, You can decide anything you want to do, and this idol cannot lift a leg or an arm." The customer had a puzzled look on his face. He stared at the idol and then turned to Avram. "Here, take this back and give me back my money, please." A new customer came to the store. Do you have a god to sell me?" "Certainly, sir. Which type of god are you looking to buy?" "Well, I am very strong, so I would like the most powerful one." "Well, this one is taller than all the others. Do you want to take this one?" "Ooh, yeah, hoo-hoo. Why, thank you. Here's your money." The customer took his idol and began walking away. "Well, who is going to bow to who? Are you going to bow to the idol, or is the idol going to bow to you?" "Well, I'll be bowing to the idol, of course." "Well, one moment," asked Avram. "You were created 70 years ago, and this was just chiseled yesterday. He was just carved out of stone, and you're going to bow down to it?" Immediately, the man gave the idol back to Avram and asked for his money back. Soon, another customer entered the store. It was an old lady. "I badly need an old idol to replace my stolen ones that were stolen from me last night. Oh, I don't know what to do." "Oh dear," said Avram. Tell me, madam, if your idols could not protect themselves from being stolen, how do you expect them to protect you?" "Oh, I never thought of that. Well, then what should I worship?" "Well, you should worship the creator of the heavens and the earth, the same God who created you and me." The old lady looked confused and turned around and left without buying an idol. Avram was really showing everyone how foolish it was to believe in these pieces of stone and wood. He was making people stop believe that these have any power. Later that same day, another woman came to the store with a large bowl of flour. It was meant as a gift to the idols. This gave Avram an excellent idea. This was surely the chance he was looking for. Avram took an axe and smashed all the idols except the largest one. He brought home all the broken idols and placed the bowl of flour in front of the largest idol, and then put the axe in the arms of the large idol. He placed all the broken pieces around the big idol. And when Terah came and saw the mess, he screamed, "Avram! Avram! Who smashed all these idols? Who?" "Oh, Father, you missed such a big fight. A lady came to offer this bowl of flour to the idols. The biggest one wanted a bigger share than all the others because he's the biggest. So all the other idols began making fun of him and provoking him till he got so angry, he grabbed this axe, smashed all the other idols to bits so he could have the entire bowl of flour to himself." For a few seconds, Terah was unable to speak. "Nonsense! How could they walk and talk? How could they get angry or eat anything?" "Father, listen to your own words. These idols have zero power to do anything. So why do you ignore Hashem, the power of all powers, and worship these silly idols?" It took one more incident to really get Terah upset with his son Avram. This is what happened. Terach was Nimrod's general and high priest. As high priest, Terach was in charge of bringing gifts to the idols, especially before battles of war. He wanted the idols to be happy with the gifts of food, so they would make Terach win the battles for Nimrod. One day, Terach brought food to Nimrod's palace, and he asked Avraham to help him be a priest for the idols. Terach saw that Avraham was no good at selling these idols. At least he could help him wash and clean Nimrod's idols. Terach knew that Avraham did not believe in idols, but Avraham was so respectful to his father Terach that Terach did not expect Avraham to do anything that would embarrass him. But what happened next was too much, even for Terach. Avraham, my son, please take these baskets of bread and bottles of wine into the temple of the gods. I know you do not believe in them, so I'm not asking you to actually bring the bread and wine as an offering. Just bring them into the temple, and I will soon come and do the service of offering the gifts to the idols myself. Sure, father. Now, why did Avraham even agree to help his father bring an offering to idols? Do you think Avraham really would have anything to do with bringing gifts to idols? Avraham had been asking Hashem for a chance exactly like this. This is my big chance, said Avraham to Hashem. Hashem, Creator God, you put it in my father's mind to ask me to come to the palace of Nimrod. I know exactly what you want me to do. You want me to use this trip to make a really big Kiddush Hashem for you and prove how useless these idols are to Nimrod himself and all his ministers. Everyone will hear about how foolish these idols of stone and wood are if they cannot even protect themselves. Please, Hashem, I know that what I'm doing is extremely dangerous, but I'm willing to take the risk. Even if I am killed for you, it is worth it to me. Avraham was not asked any questions when he carried bundles of dry wood into the temple together with the food gifts. The guards to Nimrod's temple did not stop Avraham. In fact, he even asked them to help him carry the bundles of wood into the temple. He asked the guards why they needed to guard the temple. Surely the idols could guard themselves. He told them they could take a break while he was there. The guards did not know how to argue against this, and so they agreed that they would take a break while Avraham was there. The moment the guards had gone, Avraham was left alone inside the temple. Everything was going according to his plan. There was no time to lose. He closed the temple doors behind him and began making a very large pile of the wood in the middle of the temple. He ran to every single idol standing on top of its own pillar. Grabbing one at a time, he tossed them on top of the wood pile. Some of the idols were so heavy there was no way it could be picked up and carried by just one person. But Avraham so wanted to prove to the world that these idols could do nothing to protect themselves that Hashem gave Avraham extra human strength to pick up even the most heavy of idols. Avraham kept thanking Hashem with each idol he threw into the pile. He felt Hashem was winning. In just a few minutes, the entire temple walls were empty of idols. Avraham took flintstones from his pocket and began scrubbing them very hard against each other, and immediately caused sparks of fire to jump out from between the stones. The dry wood immediately began to burn. and within seconds, the flames were all around the idols. The idols made of gold, silver, and copper began melting from the heat, while the wooden idols burned to ashes. Avram's plan had worked. He turned and ran to the temple doors. He opened them. He left the temple, leaving the doors behind wide open, and ran. As he left the temple, he continued talking to Hashem. Looking up at the sky, Avram said, "Hashem, you are the power behind all the planets, the stars, the sun and moon. I am so happy because I have total trust in you. I have no fear of anyone. I only fear upsetting you. And I know that you want the people you created to know you are the only power in the universe, and that all these disgusting idols have no power at all." Avram meant every word. He had no fear of what might happen to him. He realized that what he just did might cost him his life. But he was really not afraid. He totally trusted that Hashem is with him, and whatever Hashem wants is what he wants and what he will accept. If Hashem wants him to die, he was ready to die. The entire city was in shock. Uncontrollable flames were pouring out of Nimrod's private temple. The smoke was being blown in the wind so that everybody could smell the burning of wood and metal. People were coming out of their homes and places of work and rushing into the streets where they could see Nimrod's temple burning. Everyone was talking about it. Nimrod's entire temple of gods was burning. There was not a single god left. They were all burned to ashes. People could not understand. How could this possibly be? How could the gods of Nimrod be destroyed? If they were gods, it made no sense. Everyone could not understand what on earth could be more powerful than their idols. What could have had the power to destroy them? Terach knew exactly how it happened, and he knew exactly who was behind it. Terach could not take it anymore. He sent Nimrod's soldiers to arrest his own son and bring him to Nimrod's palace.